Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Dragon. We're coming back at you with episode 5 of my Wi-Fi battle series. Today I'm bringing you a battle that I had with a fellow PokeTuber. His name is Hooded Serperior. And let's see, let's just get right on into this. His team was Crawdont, Azumarill, Aegislash, Tyranitar, Charizard, and Ursaring. And my team was Mienshao, Trevenant, Greninja, Pinsir, Darmanitan, and Porygon 2. And before I start this battle, I'm just going to say I made a lot of bad predictions in this game. So I'm just going to put a little counter up there, probably somewhere in the top left corner of the screen. I don't know, I'm not editing the video yet, but there will be a counter somewhere where I'm just going to be counting my bad predictions. So I'm just going to hit the play button, and we're going to get right out on into this battle. So yeah, I've been meaning to battle this guy for a long time. I just finally got around to it. But yeah, anyways, so he leads off with this Ursaring. And I led off with my Mienshao. This is going to be my first of many bad predictions. I went for the knockoff because I thought that he was going to switch out into his Aegislash, assuming that I was going to go for the Protect. But nope, that didn't happen. He went for a Protect. So yeah, unfortunately, bad prediction there. He gets the speed boost because of the poison, and he just easily knocks out my Mienshao. And that was not such a great start for me. So yeah, that Ursaring's just looking all scary with its, all of that speed. So I just sent out my Trevenant because I could counter the Ursaring pretty badly. So he switches out, goes into his Charizard, and I went for the Confuser onto the Charizard, hoping to get some sort of hacks to get the odds back in my favor from that critical hit and my bad prediction. So he switched out his Charizard into his Tyranitar. And the Tyranitar got up the Sandstream, and I decided to switch out my Trevenant just because I didn't want it to be taking anything from the Tyranitar, because I wasn't sure if it was going to be special or not. So I switched into my Porygon 2, and I get hurt by the Sandstorm. And then I double switch out. I was hoping to get him to use like a Focus Blast or something and trick him, but that obviously did not happen. So that was another one of my terrible predictions, and he just used the Fire Blast straight onto my Trevenant. He got the burn. I mean, didn't really matter, as at that point I was just gonna sack off Trevenant anyways, because he wouldn't be very useful, especially since he's burned. So yeah, lots of bad predictions in this game. So he just goes to the Ice Beam just to finish off my Trevenant, which was a smart play, instead of going for another Fire Blast because I could have missed. So anyways, I just decided to sack off my Trevenant just because it wouldn't be too useful anymore. I decided to go in with Darmanitan and probably try to scare him out, hoping that it would predict a superpower, but I went for the Flare Blitz. He did predict the superpower, but he went into his Azumarill, so that's no good, because, I mean, it does about half to the Azumarill, but it has the Citrus Berry, as you'll see right here, so it gets it back up to like 75% health. Plus he has Aqua Jet, and I'm not sure if that would knock out Darmanitan, but it would do a good amount, so that was quite unfortunate. Yeah, so I just decided to switch out Darmanitan, and I went into my Porygon 2 just because he's a good switch in to take some damage while I think about what I'm doing and try to get the momentum back in my favor. So I take the Aqua Jet like a boss because Porygon 2 is very, very bulky. I decided to just go for the Thunder Wave just to paralyze it. I mean, I was faster anyways, but I decided to paralyze just in case I wanted to go for Aqua Jets, and I was just hoping that he'd get paralyzed, but that didn't happen, so I just went for the Recover just to get my health back to normal. And he just keeps using Play Rough. It's doing about 35%-ish, so I know I could just keep stalling him out with Recover if I wanted to, so that's what I did. So yep, there's another Recover. He sent out his Crawdont, and I decided to just go for the Thunder Wave. I had a feeling that the Crawdont was going to go for Superpower. He didn't. He went for Dragon Dance, so that was another bad prediction. I was hoping that it would go for Superpower because I knew that it wouldn't be able to take out my Porygon 2, and that I could still live. But unfortunately that didn't happen. He went for the knockoff, which unfortunately knocked off my Eviolite, which is quite unfortunate because Porygon 2 is still bulky without the Eviolite, but he's not as bulky. So that was quite unfortunate. I just went for another try attack to take him out. Unfortunately, he did have the focus sash, so it took me 2 try attacks. So he sends out his Charizard. Turns out to be a Mega Charizard X. And he just starts setting up Dragon Dances, and I got kind of worried about that. So I decided that I would just paralyze him, just to take his speed down 2 stages. So then he'd have to Dragon Dance a second time just to get his speed back. Luckily, he got paralyzed that turn, so I was able to go for the recover. Yeah. And so I just go for another try attack onto him. And it does a good amount of damage, about 60%-ish, maybe 65. He goes for another Dragon Dance, which was unfortunate because that meant that his speed was back to normal. So he'd be able to outspeed me. He just went for a Dragon Claw, and since there's that +2, that was just easily able to knock me out because I didn't have the Eviolite on. If I still had the Eviolite on, I might have been able to live, but, you know, got knocked off by that freaking Crawdaunt. So anyways, I went into my Pinsir because I knew that he would be faster and that I'd be able to take out the Mega Charizard with the return. So yeah, just Mega Volt my Pinsir and went for the return, which is easily able to take out the Mega Charizard. And yeah, so I got the Mega Charizard out of the way. I'm starting to kind of get the momentum going back in my favor. I predicted that the Aegislash was going to use not Swords Dance. I predicted it was going to use King Shield, so I went for the Swords Dance. Unfortunately, as you can see, I was very wrong in that sense. So he goes for a Shadow Ball, and it does a good amount of my health. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, since he didn't go for the King Shield last time, he'll probably do it this time. So I went for another Swords Dance, and as you can see, I predicted wrong. He did not go for the King Shield. And he just went for another Shadow Ball. Man, I get outplayed by Aegislashes so much. I don't know, I always predict wrong with their King Shields. So I sent him my Greninja, and I decided to just go for the Dark Pulse. But this time, he uses Stance Change. I mean, seriously, I just cannot predict these things. So, after he saw that I had Dark Pulse, I mean, I think it was obvious that I did have Dark Pulse, but now he knew that I had Dark Pulse. I went for the Grass Knot, because I thought that the Dark Pulse was so obvious that he was going to switch into his Tyranitar, and Grass Knot does a lot to Tyranitar. Obviously, as you can see, another bad prediction. So, I feel like if he switched into Tyranitar, I could have won the game. But, as you can see, that did not happen. And looks like it's a mixed Aegislash, because it also carries the Shadow Sneak. So my Greninja was just absolutely pointless this battle. So I switched into Darmanitan. It's my last Pokemon at this point. I'm like, well, at this point I can't really come back and win. So, yeah, I just decided to just spam Flare Blitz. Like, because I run my Darmanitan Choice Scarfed, so I had to lock myself into one move, and I just decided to be Flare Blitz. Luckily I got a crit there, and at this point I knew that I couldn't win, just because Flare Blitz would kill me before he got to his last Pokemon. So I just decided to take out as many Pokemon as I could of his team before I lost. So I went for the Flare Blitz onto the Azumarill, killed it. I went for the Flare Blitz onto the Ursaring, killed it. And then, yeah, since he sends out his Aegislash, and I had a feeling he was going to go for King Shield since I was locked into Flare Blitz. And yeah, I just had to go for Flare Blitz, had to get the attack drop just because I was locked into it with the Choice Scarf. I just kept spamming Flare Blitz though, and I got a critical hit on the Aegislash, which is kind of funny, but all that recoil damage is just going to knock me out before he even sends out the Tyranitar again. So anyways, that's going to be the end of this battle. Good job, Hooded Serperior. GG, I hope we can have another battle some other time. I will leave his channel link in the description. You guys should go check him out. And yeah, so bye!